Hello there and welcome to the Liverpool versus Manchester United preview. Going to try and go into everything that I'm thinking of and that I think ahead of this game, because let's make no mistake, this is such a huge game for Liverpool. Massive, massive game. And there are so many different reasons why. But we're going to go through all of that anyway throughout this video, however long it lasts. Please do feel free to get your comments in the comment section below and let me know what your thoughts are ahead of the game, whether you're a Liverpool fan, maybe even a Manchester United fan or a neutral fan. How do you feel about this game going forward? For me, I'm nervous. Now, I'm nervous before we play any game, whether it's against like a FC Midtjylland or whether it's against Man City or a Bayern Munich or whoever it might be. I'm nervous before every single game. Exactly the same feeling. It starts to build up and around here and really sit in the gut of my stomach, and it's just like permanent butterflies all the time. Just nerves built up, and there's nowhere for it to go until the match actually kicks off. And that's what we've got to wait for now. It doesn't kick off until Sunday, obviously 4:30 on Sunday at Anfield. And again, one of these things that makes it such a big thing for Liverpool in general. Now, we're going to go in and look straight at the Premier League table here. And looking at the Premier League table, this is one of the reasons why this is a huge game for Liverpool. Please do, if you would like to, look at the points of all the teams that are involved here. Manchester United on 36 points. We can tie them on points and overtake them on goal difference if we win the game. Obviously, we can't do that if we draw the game, because they would go on 37, we would go on 34. However, if other results go, say, against us, because obviously you see Manchester City have got a game in hand and also they're only 1 point behind us. We've got three teams now on 32 points, Leicester and Everton. You know, they are creeping. They're creeping and creeping as we seem to be dropping and dropping. So what could happen here, say at the weekend, if the worst happens and Liverpool lose the game, Man City, Leicester, Everton, maybe even Tottenham win their games by a couple of goals, we can drop from second to sixth. That's a very real possibility. Like, let's make no bones about it. That is a hell of a possibility, depending on how we come out and play this game. Now, obviously, there's also an equal chance if we come out and play our game and play well and actually be clinical, that we could go out there, win the game, maybe put on a little bit of a clinic, which would be lovely, be absolutely fantastic, and we could tie on points with Manchester United, tied on the same amount of games played as well, and also our goal difference would be improved as well. Because the goal differences aren't that different. You know, you look at United all the way down to Aston Villa, even Chelsea, 10, 16, 12, 10, 7, 14, 7, 13, 11. Goal differences are very, very tight. We have the best one right now, but we just don't have the points. So we need to. This isn't a case of like, oh, I'll take a draw. We need to go out there and win, because I know there's still a lot of the season left to go. After we play this game, there's still going to be another 20 games of the Premier League to play. The shape of the table isn't decided in January, but it would give us so much more momentum going forward as well. I know we've got Manchester United in the FA Cup, but regardless of that, like, it's just, we need to go out there and get a win here. We really, really do. Need to go out there and get a win and set up properly to get the win as well. Now, we're going to look a little bit at some team news here. So Naby Keita and Joel Matip both haven't trained yet. Now, that was as of Wednesday. They still have Thursday, Friday and Saturday, but at the moment it looks like they're major doubts whether they're going to be included in the squad for Manchester United or not. For me, I'm erring on the side of caution, and when I do my predicted lineup and I show you that, I'm saying that they're not going to be available, that they're not going to get picked. Maybe they might be on the bench, but not in terms of starting 11, which is disappointing because it looks like Naby Keita is just a very, very injury-prone player at Liverpool. I don't remember him having this record of being so injury-prone when he was at RB Leipzig, but these things happen. Joel Matip, we know what comes with Joel Matip. He's a quality player, but he is very injury prone, very, very injury prone, and when he is out, he tends to be out for a little bit of a while as well. So it's just, yeah, it's not the easiest thing to deal with. But apart from that and the major injuries that we've got so far, we're able to call upon, as it says here, Klopp's able to call upon an otherwise strong squad No other concerns really. Apparently Mane had a little bit of a back complaint during the Aston Villa game, but otherwise everybody else is fit and firing, or as fit and firing as they can be anyway. So I wanted to look at some other, you know, in terms of predicted 11s and stuff like that. Now this is just an article from the Evening Standard, and this is the predicted lineup that they've gone for just here. Alisson, Trent, Henderson, Fabinho, Robertson, Milner, Thiago, Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino and Mane. For me, that's not what I'm going with. Definitely not in defence and definitely not in midfield. And I looked at that and I just thought, it's not a bad lineup, but it's stifling. It's stifling a little bit. And seeing as when we played this similar sort of, lineup and we played it against Southampton, we struggled in terms of creativity. We struggled in terms of getting getting the ball in the back of the net as well. Obviously, that comes more to the front three than anything else. But for me, and I said this in a video I think yesterday, that Henderson needs to be in the midfield for me. Needs to be in the midfield. While we don't have Fabinho in midfield, we need to have someone like Henderson in there because he just helps out everybody so much by being in the centre of midfield, either on the right hand side or whether he drifts over through the middle, over to the left hand side and covers a little bit here or there. Doesn't really matter in my opinion. He needs to be into midfield. That's my opinion. I'm going to go through and I will now show you what I think my starting lineup would be. Let me know what you think your starting lineup would be, because this is what I'm going for here. I've changed it to a 4-2-3-1. I'm not entirely sure whether we will play that. Honestly, I really don't. I think he'll probably most likely go for the 4-3-3. But for me, this gives us just a lot. It just gives us a lot, in my opinion. We get a lot of, the forwards get a lot of creativity in there. There's a lot of, Shaqiri, in my opinion. If we can, I would love to see him start this game. I'd love to see him be much more involved in this game. I really would be. I think this is a good lineup, and it keeps Henderson in midfield, getting Nat Phillips in at centre back alongside Fabinho. Yes, Trent Alexander-Arnold hasn't had the good season that he's had previously. Still only 22. Suffered with COVID-19 as well, and also the injury that he had. He's not at his world-class level, which is such a high level in terms of what he can do getting up and down the pitch, and also what he offers in terms of creativity, vision, passing ability, ridiculous passing ability, set pieces that he can deliver as well. I'm going with Trent Alexander-Arnold in this game because for me, eventually his form will turn around, and it could be this game here. Your only other option for me, yes, you could put Milner in there, but when you're coming up probably on the side where Marcus Rashford will be, you'd have to go with either Nico Williams or Trent Alexander-Arnold, because Milner's not keeping up with Rashford. Unless Rashford has a stinker, it's just not for me. Nat Phillips at centre-back, for me, it makes complete sense whether he's a young player or not, or even Reece Williams, whichever one, whether you're a young player or not, to have a native, natural centre-back pairing Fabinho, because Fabinho's class. If he plays in midfield or he plays at centre-back, he's class. That is what you get with him. But playing Henderson at centre-back, while he wasn't good, you just lose so much by taking him out of midfield and trying to maybe replace it with Milner, which can work, but I just think that Henderson's got more legs in him. He's got more aggression in him. And obviously he's a hell of a captain as well. The work that he does to allow the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold to move forward up and down the pitch freely while Henderson covers those spots and drops in when Trent goes up the pitch, it just seems like a natural thing for Henderson. Similar sort of thing if he moves over to the left hand side and allows Robertson to get up the pitch. It happens naturally. Then we have the two of Henderson and Thiago as like your defensive mids, or the guys that are just behind the front four but just in front of the back four. And I think that with the ability of Henderson, what he brings in terms of, engine, work rate, also quality as a player, and then the undoubted quality of Thiago as well, and the ability to pick a pass from pretty much anywhere and it be almost on a sixpence, I think that would be actually quite a good setup. And then the front four, where you get to use Salah, Firmino, Mane and Shaqiri, it would be fantastic. Obviously, if he was fit, we'd most likely use Jota in one of these positions as well. But this could be a very, very dangerous lineup to come up against Manchester United. It gives you defensive qualities. It gives you numbers to be able to get back and help out the centre-backs when Trent and Robertson go forward. You can have Henderson maybe drop back. You can have Thiago maybe drop back or something like that just to help them out a little bit more. And then you get more creativity up front as well, which would, for me, come from Shaqiri. Yes, you get the creativity of Thiago, fantastic, but Shaqiri can be the guy that's almost on the, just on the outside of the box, looking to feed these little passes through their defence. Because sometimes, if it's Harry Maguire and Lindelof, it can be a static defence. If it's Eric Bailly, you get a little bit more pace from them, that it will be much more difficult to break down. I think they've just loaned out one of their guys as well, so he won't be playing. But I cannot. Fosu Mensah, I think he's just gone out on loan or sold or whatever it was. But even so, if they start with a pacey centre back, then yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. He will cover more ground. But if it's Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly, then there's a good chance that if it's Harry Maguire and Lindelof, there's a good chance you can actually get in behind them a little bit easier, but not too easy, because then you've got like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you've got I don't know if he's fit, maybe Alex Telles or Luke Shaw, because he's not playing badly these days either. Regardless, I think we need as much creativity as we can afford coming up against them, and then obviously it'll be David De Gea or Dean Henderson in goal, both good goalkeepers, and always, well, David De Gea especially puts on a show whenever he comes up against Liverpool, so it's going to be difficult regardless of what happens anyway. So this is my lineup that I'm going for against Manchester United. Now, what I think could be the X factor for Manchester United here is that we've never played against a Manchester United team that has had Bruno Fernandes in it. And Bruno Fernandes is a fantastic footballer, regardless of what anyone thinks of him. He is a fantastic footballer. He's got so many goal contributions and has pretty much almost single-handedly helped them become such a creative force, a dangerous force. And with the players like an Anthony Martial, like Marcus Rashford, even now like Edinson Cavani, who will give them such a different element up front, and he's already displayed that a couple of times as well, displayed that he can be a danger, very instinctive in front of goal, and very accurate as well. Rashford, very difficult on the turn, very difficult when he's running, and if he's just running at someone with pace, he's very difficult. And if we get caught on the counter, which is probably what Manchester United will be looking for, I imagine that Liverpool will be controlling possession. They will be looking to hit us quickly on the counter, and they've got players to do it. They could even throw a curveball and put a Dan James in there purely because of the pace that he has. He may not be the best footballer, he might not be the best in front of goal, but that stupid amount of pace that he's got, he would be the quickest player on the pitch. It makes them a very dangerous threat coming up against Liverpool. And obviously, one other danger that we have here is our Anfield record is also on the line. Our unbeaten record, where we've been unbeaten for over 3 seasons now, is nothing short of exceptional considering the competition that we've come up against in the Premier League. To be unbeaten at home for that amount of time is fantastic, but it's also something that we're trying to hold on to here, where I think some people would be like, oh, I would take a draw. I want to go for the win. If we lose it, but we lose it going for the game, I can sort of accept it a little bit more than going, well, we got a draw. No, I want us to go hammer and tong at this game, because I don't want us to lose at home. Whether the fans are there or not, I don't want us losing at home, and I don't think anyone does. I don't want us losing away from home. I don't want us losing at all. But don't want it being against Manchester United. I don't want Manchester United being 6 points ahead of us after this game. I truly believe the more I look at this lineup that I've put here next to me, the more that I look at this, I truly feel that this is a strong enough lineup to be able to cause Manchester United problems. You know what our other problem is as well, and I will go into this as well because I've picked these out especially for this, is if we go and look at 3 games that we've had recently. I'm not counting the Aston Villa game, right? And all I'm looking at is these bits here. Total shots on target. 17 shots against West Brom, 2 on target. Now we move on to Newcastle, where we had 11 shots, 4 on target. A little bit better, their goalkeeper played well, but still not enough shots on target in my opinion. We then move on to the Southampton game, where we again had 17 shots, controlled possession, one shot on target. Liverpool, and again, look at our possession, 74% here. We had 78% against West Brom, a little bit less against Southampton, but still, because they're a quality team, a little bit less, but not much less. Whenever we get chances, we need to be absolutely clinical. Need to be clinical in front of goal. Their goalkeeper could have an absolute worldie that day. You can't always account for that. But Liverpool need to be making sure they're hitting the target and making the goalkeeper work. Hit the target, make the goalkeeper work, and I'm telling you now, if Liverpool have anywhere near between 12 to 17 shots, and you have about maybe 8 or 9 of them on target, you would almost guarantee that 1 or 2 of them is going to hit the back of the net. Almost guaranteed. The more that we actually try and get shots on target, the better. Surely that is how it has to be. Because make no mistake, I do believe that we will control possession in this game. They will hit us on the counter, and if we get hit on the counter, say even like when the 17, 18-year-old that got the counter on us against when we played against Aston Villa, they're young lads, got us on the counter. Yes, it was against Kelleher, but he's a good goalkeeper as well. Got caught. Defence couldn't get back quick enough. We don't have the recovery pace of a Van Dijk or a Joe Gomez. We don't have that. We will be looking at slower paced centre-backs, which we know we have, like Fabinho. Great centre-back in my opinion, but doesn't have the pace. Nat Phillips doesn't have the pace. Reece Williams doesn't have the pace. Even Jordan Henderson wouldn't have the pace to get back in time if you've got a full pelt Marcus Rashford or a Martial or a Dan James or whoever else they might play. You're not getting back, and then it's all on the goalkeeper. Liverpool need to be clinical in front of goal to get anything from this game. I'm going to be bold in terms of score prediction. I think that Manchester United can be got at. They can be got at. Definitely. Burnley had some good chances against Manchester United and they just didn't take them. I think there were maybe a couple of decisions here or there that maybe didn't go Burnley's way. But in my opinion, I feel that Liverpool will walk out of here with a 2-1 victory. 2-1, you could call me 2-1 FC. It is what it is. I predict 2-1 quite a lot for Liverpool because I feel that we will concede. But I think if we can get a grip of this game into the midfield, set up anywhere near like what we've got here, I think we've got a good chance of controlling the game, but also creating good quality chances in front of goal. It's then up to the forwards, or whoever is the furthest person forward in front of goal, to take that chance. Defensively, we're not too bad, honestly, we're not. It looks a little bit worse than it is because we're missing so many players. Defensively, we're not actually that bad. But at this moment in time, it's putting the ball in the back of the net that is costing us. That is why we are where we are right now. We're not sat on like 39 points because we cannot put it in the back of the net. And that is just a matter of fact. These guys have got to be putting it in the back of the net. Mane, Firmino, Salah, Shaqiri creating as well. These guys need to be putting it in the back of the net if they get there. I firmly believe that these guys are going to be up for it. I'm pulling for a Liverpool 2-1 victory. That is what I feel in here. Whether it happens on the day or not, we will have to wait and find out. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe. If you're new around here, please do feel free to get your comments in the comment section below. What are you feeling towards this huge game for Liverpool and also a huge game for Manchester United as well? Make no mistake. How are you feeling? I'm nervous. Let me know how you're doing. Thank you ever so much once again. Please do have a great day. Look after yourselves and I'll catch you later.